and then open it, same motion, kick it open. How's it going, everybody? We got a beautiful day today. It's sunny, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to roll up our sleeves. Well, sleeves already rolled up, but we're gonna jump into something today. We're gonna put a kick sensor in for the car. Kick sensor, what? I know a lot of cars come with it, well, Tesla doesn't. However, so we did get this one from our friends over at Hansshow. They sent it to me. It's a super easy install. I'm gonna go through that, you guys, today, show you what it looks like. Obviously, you guys know I have a Tesla Model Y 2020 version, but it's a couple things to take apart, and we're gonna make it happen. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So, like I said, it's going to be a kick sensor. It's from Hansshow, and this is basically what you get, right? There's a couple of parts in there, a couple of wires, but everything is set to fit with OEM Tesla stuff. So you don't have to do any wire modifications or anything like that, which is really important for me because I'm not an electrician or a mechanic or anything like that. Like a lot of you guys probably aren't either. And then on top of that, I want an easy install, and I just want it to work. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So first off, there's a couple of parts that we're going to take off of the car. Things just kind of pop off the panels anyway. And then the sub trunk, we're going to take that out of there, take everything out of there, and then we're off. So I'm going to kind of show you the well here. So basically what we need to do is get underneath all of this stuff. We need to take off these panels here and here to access the actual push button, which is behind here anyway, of the Tesla. And then that way it'll engage, oh here it is, sorry, the close button, so that it'll engage with that instead. It lets you use your foot down here. So that's kind of the idea, and we're just gonna start cracking. So I'll tell you a couple of tools that I have to do this. It's a spudger tool, or spudger tool, I should say. Now I actually got this for our puddle lights that we put in, but it's a plastic kind of pointed knife looking sort of thing. It's really good for popping off those caps. It's really good for popping off those plug things and helping with the panels. I also have a church key just for emergencies, though this is metal, so you want to be careful not to scratch the car. And then I have a screwdriver that's going to help me take out my sub trunk. So we're just going to start popping panels off, and then I'll show you guys where I'm at and where we go from there. You can kind of see that these just pop off. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'll bring you a little bit closer. You guys can kind of see that these panels just sort of pop off. There isn't a lot holding them but clips. Now you want to make sure not break them, of course. So you do want to be gentle with them, but you know, work your way around, and you'll notice that they all kind of come off. So you should be able to just get through all of them. If you end up pulling off one of these caps, you can push it back in. It goes right back into place, and you'll see kind of where they go. So now these are the plugs that I was talking about. When you get to these, they're actually easier to use with the spudger tool to get these out. They pop off really easy. Sometimes they do break, though. People were noticing that when they were doing the mud flaps. So you want to be careful with them, but they are easily replaceable too. So. And then this just pops off just the same as the other one. So coincidentally, what you want to do is get this all the way off. However, I can't get my nubby thing off that protects this. I don't want to bend it or break it or anything like that. You can access everything that you need from the wiring standpoint just by it hanging down like this. I just don't want to put a lot of stress on it, so I just ended up tying up the sides. But you may not have that issue. It's almost like with the mud flat. Some people had a hard time getting that screw out. I didn't, but nonetheless, so we're just gonna roll with it. So where we're at, and the instructions are there, like I said before. I mean, it does come with instructions. They're a little kind of odd to look at, but really, there's only one place each thing can plug into. And you know, the double connections, it creates that bypass like we were talking about before. So you're plugging it into the Tesla, and then you're plugging the other piece into the other side of it. So it, you know, kind of goes the way that it's supposed to, really. But where we have so far, we have the plug in there. This was the most difficult one. It's actually behind there. It was a little tricky to get out. You have another bypass over here, and then the control box. And I just used some plastic ties. They do come with zip ties just to kind of hold it in place. And then the long wire is actually running through here, and it comes out right here. And I'm actually going to run it through this grommet here, underneath the trim, down to here. and then out where the tow hitch would be. That part does seem a little bit trickier than, or it sounds tricky, but in reality, every piece just pops off like we did on the top, and then we're gonna test it out and go from there. I was taking my seat out. Ben came out here to help us, but you can kind of see these parts here, and you know, really everything just kind of pops off. It's those same clips that we had on the top. You can kind of see them here. These are actually metal, which is kind of nice. So the parts just kind of come through there. And now, unfortunately, you do have to take them all apart in order to get to them. Down here, we actually have those grommet pieces, which we were talking about before, and then we get into the well. So, and then in here, you're going to notice that you've actually got the screws that hold it in place. There's 4 bolts, and then a couple of other screws too. So we are going to take those off, and then there's one holding it in, or a couple holding it in from underneath as well. So we got everything out. I ran the wire through. You run it through this thing here, and then I ran it along the channel, popping this panel off. Down here, you can kind of see it coming out there. That actually gets covered by the trunk, the sub trunk anyway. The hardest part by far was fishing it through this rubber grommet thing. You know, anything you can do to make it easier there is definitely going to save you some heartache. There's actually 5 bolts in the tub to get this out, and then 5 bolts underneath the car to get it out. And once you pop it out, you have complete access to underneath the space here. You can kind of see there, and that's the tail hitch area. And this is where I put the sensor. I put it right there, and I just taped it down. I tested it out a couple of times to make sure it worked, and then I put the trunk back, or the sub trunk back in. And then from this point forward, it's just popping the panels back into place and putting the grommets back in. But as far as you know, functionality, and then open it, same motion, kick it open. Hey, as far as difficulty, I'm pretty sweaty. I'm a little greasy. It took me a couple of hours to do this, mainly because I was fighting with that grommet, and then on top of that, you know, just trying to fish the wires through and stuff like that. Connecting the wire to the top part of this was a little tricky for me too, but you know, if you get that done quickly and you have you know, a process to fish it through that grommet, you're gonna be golden. Because really, in reality, everything kind of just pops off. You socket the tub out, you know, like I said, 5 on top, 5 on bottom, and then the wires are right there and it just sticks in place. I did pop off the cover for the tail hitch just so I could access and move it around if I needed to, but you might not even need to do that. So, hey, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I want to thank my friends at Hansshow for sending this over to us. Check out the description below. Save yourself some money on one. You get a nice, you know, very nice discount. There's a promo code there as well. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month so far, and that you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.